Good afternoon, students. We'll continue with our chapter 1. Before continuing with the chapter topic, I would like to specify from here, from monolithic system, the topic name is operating system structure. So, monolithic system I have explained in the last lecture. Monolithic system is the first operating system structure. Second one is the layered system. Now, layer 0 is your processor, allocation and multiprogramming. Layer 1 is memory and DRAM management. Layer 2 is operator process communication. Layer 3 is input output management. Layer 4 is user programs, and layer 5 is the operator for located in layer 5. So this is the structure of layered system as I explained in the last lecture. Next is microkernels, which is the third operating system structure. So when we talk about microkernel, we have microkernel with user mode and kernel mode. But in user mode, you have shell, then you have different user program, servers, drivers, processes which are working, and then you have microkernels to handle interrupts, processes, scheduling processes, all such things. When we talk about microkernels, there are certain microkernel system, Mini X3 system. So this diagram which is showing is your Mini X3 system, which has a clock as well as a system analysis also, which is going to work according to your microkernel. Now specifying the microkernel, when we talk about microkernel, there is a kernel mode as well as user mode, but microkernels only contain code that must execute in kernel mode. Now code in your microkernels work on only codes in the kernel mode as well as in the second part of the operating system. It is the second part of the operating system, it is not the first part of the operating system. As well as in microkernels requirements are code for context switching as well as setting device registers, manipulating the main memory unit, and capturing hardware interrupts. Hardware interrupts means the problems which a hardware faces are catched and solved by the microkernels. Now, when we talk about the client server, the fourth one is client server model. Client server model, you can see here machine 1, machine 2, machine 3, machine 4. So these things are different machines are connected with one single network system as well as messages from client to file server, process server, terminal server can be exchanged. So talking about your client server model, as large part of the traditional operating system code moved into higher layer CMS, that is client model server or client system model, you have VM370 got a simplicity. So the actual system code which we are using is VM/370. However, a trend in modern operating system is to take the idea of moving code up to into higher layers even further and remove as much as possible from kernel mode, leaving a minimal microkernel rather than moving again and again to the kernel mode, that is the actual system mode. We have to work in the microkernels only. That is the reason each and every machine is divided with different processes, that is client, then file server different, process server different, terminal server different, with a single network access, and they can share the data within themselves. As well as the next one, that is the next operating system structure is virtual machine. So now virtual, will be first moving with virtual and then we'll be going on to virtual machine. Now virtual machine is actual, virtual means not real. We are using that thing but we do not know that what actually that virtual machine is doing for us. We have n number of certain virtual machines which will be working for our single task as well, for sharing the not the actual data but an virtual data. So your virtual 370S, that is the machine, divides your IO instructions, that is input output instruction, trap here in VM370, that is the client server model, as well as system calls are here and trapped in CMS, and the structure of VM370 with CMS looks like this when you talk about the virtual machine. Bare hardware means open hardware of 370 degree. Then the next is, as well as a time sharing system provides multi-programming. Virtual machine provides a feature called as time sharing, an extended machine with convenient interface than bare hardware. Extended machine, see, you have an extended part of bare hardware which can be used for this particular processing. So that is being given here. As well as next is virtual machines rediscovered. So this was the older part of virtual machines. Then there is certain innovation in virtual machine, and this is what we are using nowadays, that is guest OS plus hypervisor 2. See here, hypervisor I am not explaining you all because in the fourth chapter, that is fourth unit, you have virtualization as a chapter in which you will be getting to know what is hypervisor 1, hypervisor 2. But the actual extension, see, priorly people used to only work with Excel, Word, different operating system with only one hypervisor. Then in the second model which was updated, you have guest OS plus you have machine simulator. Simulator, what it will do, it will convert your guest OS and host OS, and it will separate gradually and give an machine simulator a different host OS processes working separately and guest OS processes working separately. Now guest operating system is as a user who is using, host OS processes means actual system administrator working on that host operating system. Then next is guest OS is different. Hypervisor 2 is been replaced with machine simulator, and host operating system has its own kernel module to work on it. So this is what is rediscovered virtual machine. The next is large programming projects. Now large programming means this programming is done under and compiled under C programming and header files to make it executable. There are certain header files. Now when you learn C, you have certain header files for C also, that conio.h or out.c, that is output.c. All those things are there, main.o. So these are the library files, or we can say header files, on which your executable C processor, C compiler works, and then there is a linker who's going to work on large programming projects. So this is the last part, I guess. Then there are matrix units. Metric units means 2 for the expressions 10 raised to 3, 10 raised to 6, 10 raised to 9, 10 raised to minus 12. All these matrix prefix are being used to identify the metric units of the data within the system in large programming, or you can say in the operating system structure. So this is the end of chapter 1. I'll be providing you this PPT separately. This is university model PPT. You can learn, or you can go through this PPT after you have been downloaded your all the chapter videos, and you can go through the topics for your learning process. Thank you.